Good, good, good evening, everyone, and good evening, ma'am. Today's my topic is Java as how we can use the Java as a API, and in terms of as we know that API has a different types like the web API and the um, standard library API, etc. Java standard Java can be used as the standard library API. Means, as you know that functions provided by the programming means functions like the which is good evening, ma'am. Today's my topic is how we can use the Java as a API, and my topic under the guidance of any ma'am. And we know that there are lots of the different types of APIs are there. We can name it like a web API, web API, library APIs, operating system APIs, and hardware APIs. But here we are going to discuss about the Java as a standard library API and how the JDBC means Java database connectivities connect we can connect to the MySQL, and how the Java can be a API and how it uploads to the drivers, and how the connection API can make the bridge between the lots of the operating systems or and the hardware. So we can translate like it's like the connection between the trans like the middleman between the translators. So as you know, a library API is a set of predefined classes, functions, or methods provided by the software library that developers can use to perform the common tasks without implementing them from scratch. Because it can save the lots of the time, because for each and every time we need not implementing from the scratch. So we can we know that by definitions of how we can standardize the Java as a library function. So the Java standardized library API is a collection of predefined packages and classes, interfaces, and methods provided by the Java, and it allows the developers to perform the common programming tasks without writing the again and again the codes from the sketch. So it can save the lot of time, um, lot of the time. And the next is how we can use by importing the required packages. Like we can we know that by using the Java JDK means Java Development uh, Kit. So we can um, application programs by using the system calls, and by calling the methods or classes we as a standard library function, and Java APIs communicate with the drivers, and Java virtual machine with communicating with the hardware, and then we can uh, give the output. So we can discuss some important in packages, common packages like the java.lang means basic classes, string match system, Java util, Java IO, and the Java ni.java.net, and the java.sql, java.time, the java.match, etc., and the java.concurrent, and by like the multi-threading and the concurrency utilities. So Java as a standard libraries, as I mentioned that we can import lots of the standard library functions like under system files under the suppose we know that everyone knows that system.out.println. In this system is a package, and under the class called under the class called system is the class, and out is the iostream uh, static object, and the println is the function within the class. So we can use the we can call the many functions like the but in java.lang math square root functions, min max functions, apps functions. The system calls are like by default Java can bring the standard library APIs. It's the same thing like the when the anybody it's the same thing like the waiter in the restaurant. So whenever the client or customer uh, order anything through the waiter, and the waiter goes to the kitchen and give the order to the chef, and order means like there will be two types of the APIs, and like the user interface they will be handled by the shell scripters, and in the kitchen chef system they will be interpreted by the kernel part. So after like the API also after API converting the communication between the driver and the API, the output will be result to the correct appropriate address of the hardware after processing the CPU through the CPU. So next is so we can mention that lots of the classes like the scanner, random, dynamic array list, and yep, they are highly flexible in memory storage, arrays, files, file readers, file writer, localted, etc. Then next, my next topic is core native packages like Java, like I mentioned that Java Lang, Java.lang, Java util are most common and the most popular, mostly commonly used ones. Ex- Explicit type declarations and wildcard imports, static import syntax, and now we are going to the most important part is how the JDBC integration is the kind of integration we are trying to bringing a platform called like how the Java API has a connect Java JDBC API connector has bringing the SQL queries to the Java platform. So so building the high efficiency transactional layers with the native MySQL connector driver bridges. So in this we will for this we will discuss like the some connections like Java. For this we need to import the Java SQL asterisk, um, and for connecting part we need to for connecting the MySQL program, we need to bring the syntax called class dot for name under the double quotes com dot MySQL cg and cj and the dvc driver, and how we are like as you know that by using the trying and is here we are trying to showing the like the Java is because of interfaces we are using the lots of interfaces concepts and trying and catch error exception handling means without showing the interrupting any unwanted results, we can if the error happens at a runtime or compile time, the try and catch method will handle the exception by using this exception handling. And how the SQL connectivity bring loads to the statement called result statement, that is brings a result set, that is like as you know that by constructing by using the concept called interfaces, and and while creating an object called the result set, the statement will the query will be queried query from the select star from the designation uh, by selecting the by bringing the from the database table and process it like this. We can as you know that we know that Java core has three layers, and the three layers. Java application layer means it's just next to the user cell, means a cell script layer, and JDBC manager or driver bridge is like the is a bridge between the OS and uh, um, uh, OS and the driver. So after that they will fetch the data from the SQL database and source the output whatever that wanted to the application. So it has some called the statement, and in that statement layer can so we can name the some of the important drivers. Drivers means enable to communicate between, main purpose is enable to communicate between the applications over, and that is APIs, and between the drivers. We can mention some of the important drivers like NVIDIA graphic driver, HP printer driver, Realtek audio driver, MySQL DBC driver, etc. So next so statement means statement that can statement means it will reference in the, as you know, we have given the example like statement equal to connection creates statements method. In this, the referring variables are creating, and this line creates a statement object which is used to send the SQL commands from the Java program to the database. So the statement is an interface in the Java SQL package, and it provides a method for executing the SQL statement. Uh, So as you know that it has the five main important parts in the JDBC standard lifecycle. First is the import a SQL, and second is the init register the specific DVC drivers using the modern SPI configuration patterns. Then connects the nodes, and 4 is run the query from the SQL and database, and close the port. So that's all. Thank you.